Sister Veronica Schuler. I've been a member of the community for about 37 years. I'm working now as the Chancellor of the Archdiocese of Portland. I was in my mid-20s. My first job out after college was in corrections, and I was kind of at loose ends. I was thinking, what's my life about and where is it going? They were strong women, they were very real, they knew what was going on in the world, but they had this strong religious life. I had been going through a lot and thinking about a lot of things, and I remember thinking, this is the first time I feel like I'm talking to someone who gets me and who understands what I'm talking about. And at the time, of course, being a religious was the furthest thing from my mind. But gradually, I came to realize that that's probably what my call was. So after a period of years of relating to the sisters, I did enter in 1985. And, looking back, you can see God's hand at every step of the way. But you can also see at each step, you can say yes or no. And I think just part of the process was, okay, I'm going to explore this and we'll see what happens. And so that it leads you into deeper relationship if you're open. And that's kind of what happened with me.
Those early years were really years of searching out. We were not subsidized by any diocesan fund or anything. We were independent as a community, so we had to support ourselves and find work that we felt would serve the church but also bring in an income. We knew that our call was to the wider church, the bigger church, immediate secular society also. So we did many things in those early years, and we kept searching for where God was calling us.
First of all, I found them very, very joyful. And not Pollyanna, not at all. Because first of all, we were all rolling up our sleeves and digging in, and this house needed a lot of work. I would come out and help them. But I think there was an excitement and a real love among the sisters. And I found just this love of creation that I always had cherished. At the same time, you're a woman of the world. Am I going to give up everything and be a sister, part of that? You always have those questions of what's your future? However, I remember Sister Francine saying to me, I can't promise that you'll be happy, but I can promise that you continue that effort and the Lord will love you in that process. I just took a step, and I've never regretted it. I really haven't. And you wonder, what would it be like if you did this or that? But then when you look back, you can see the Lord leading.
Anytime something happens that I didn't expect, that I didn't think of, like the idea of going to law school, I would never have come up with that on my own. But Mother Rose May, our foundress, she came up to me one day and said, have you ever thought of going to law school? And, maybe I should think about it. I think coming here was probably God's handiwork, because the way the process happened was not something I had any control over or even any thought about. That's when you can really see God's hand, when things come together in a way thought of or imagined.
I went through a time of not knowing whether or not God was calling me to this. And I think some people looking on a religious sister, they think it happens automatically. And everybody goes through that time of doubt, time of questioning, time of unknowing. But I always say, just keep praying. Even if you think God isn't hearing you, or even if you don't know what God wants you to be in terms of a profession, should you be a nurse, should you be a doctor, should you be a whatever, keep on asking and keep on praying, because the answers will come. So don't give up. The greatest gift is if we find out what God wants of us, who we are to be. That opens us and frees us and it releases us to then bring that out of other people in the most holy way. And it's a wonderful thing when those match. And that's what I feel has happened